The return of Phish, and we got night one in Nashville, and it kind of felt like a night one. We only got 8 shows this run, so unfortunately, they didn't necessarily come flying out of the gate. As you see here, Julius. I mean, if there's, well, not that Julius is one of the overplayed ones. They've actually backed off a little bit on Julius. But there's a handful, even a dozen or so songs that I feel like just kind of get overplayed. I feel like I'm not alone there, and we just got a lot of the overplayed songs tonight. Makes sense, I suppose. Night one, and if you listen to all the Trey shows and in between Dix and now, they're regulars there in his set list now, too. So, not Julius, though, however. And look, if we're going to get Julius right off the bat as the opener, not bad. But then we also got a Zero in there and a Santos in there. I mean, we're talking about the Mount Rushmore there. And look, I love Back on the Train. I like Moma Dance, Maze, but boy, all of them. And the Wolfman's Brothers, of course, it was a big powerhouse. It just kind of felt like, we were going to get a good times, bad times down here at some point. And then for night one, Trey's voice, not the strongest, obviously, if I could be polite there. Hope everything's all right. We got a Jibboo opening up the second set. Big fan of that. And like I said, the Wolfman's, so I think, just a lot of it just felt like, I know we say every show's different, but this first set, and what look, is all old classic songs, really. Hard to complain about that. They really won me back with the Destiny, the Wolfmans, but I mean, the Moma Dance, this is back-to-back shows now. I know there was a gap, but back-to-back shows, you get Moma Dance, first set, third song, At that point, I just went over there and pouted in the corner like any self-respecting Phish fan would. Got through Axilla and Maze that way. And then, back for the journey, and Trey's voice really hurting there on Wolfman's got a strong telephone ring though to make up for it. And then the jam, a nice build into a big explosion. We got my soul. They love sound checking it. We finally play it there though. All right, so I don't even know what to do with Julius there. Okay, we got Julius out of the way. Maybe it'll be the only one we get this run. I would assume. Probably not going to be in Dayton, luckily. So then we get back on the train, and they're, like I said, it's hard to complain about a Back on the Train Moma Dance, but not even necessarily that combo, but often early. And then we get Axilla, classic, although we got a little mix of Axilla and the Axilla 2 ending. I believe Trey said you get the best of both worlds. I like just a good old classic Axilla 1, especially in this kind of set, Axilla 2, also an old one there. Then the maze that we had mentioned here. Just a good maze, okay maze, Kind of felt the same way with Moma Dance, Back on the Train. And then Wolfman, something finally coming through that was just more than okay. And then the My Soul, kind of to keep it going with My Soul and not to totally deflate everything, maybe kind of steal it back. We got the Destiny Unbound, giving a little rest on the vocals there to our guy. The Mike, maybe, Mike's groove, obviously, but then right there coming in a close second would be Destiny Unbound as one of my favorite Mike songs. Obviously, people, too, it got a bit of a roar. People really applauded the Maze, too, I think. I believe it was Maze, one of the songs. And then what was the deal? There was like a delay just to play Moma Dance, too. What was going on there? Mike was really meaning business now. Trey was wanting to drift off early and Back on the Train. I was like, whoa, what's this and Mike and Fishman were like, let's just stay the course here. Kept him on the track, so to speak. And then Character Zero down here, entering C-Town to end the set. And then Got a Jibboo. If you're not on board with this Got a Jibboo, you probably never are going to be. There was one point there very early on, maybe the timing got a little skewed, but then overall, man, I felt like this was the kind of Got a Jibboo I'm looking for. And then when you heard a little roar out of the crowd there too. So if ticket sales were weak leading up to this, it was a loud crowd there tonight. I don't know how. I'm sure it filled up towards the end of the as the day approached and we got to the show. And then Oblivion, well into the jam. I was like, all right, I know I do kind of like this song. We're saying it's one of the betters of the new ones. But not a lot was going on there. Page making a lot of sounds, getting to play with all the instruments he has, the array of keys that he has there. I'm like, okay, well that's cool. But not a lot going on here, and then it really kind of took off at some point. It might have been, 12, 13 minutes in before it really took off, and then it ran for a little while after that. And then the coolest down, we get Torn and Frayed, Not Loving Cup. I'll applaud that all the time. Then we get the Light Fuego combo back to back. Again, 2 songs that I really enjoy. I like them a lot. Light's one of my favorites. Fuego has some greats. They got really cool toward the end of Fuego, and then Mr. Antipasta wants to roll into Santos. Why not? Why not just jam, Trey? Get the whole. You don't need to sing anymore. And then the light wasn't just a a run through light. It didn't go deep though. This kind of getting late into the set here. I don't know. This combo here was probably 30 minutes plus. And then say it to me, Santos, man. We already got Zero and Julius. I mean, just if he would have thrown a more in there might have been some spontaneous jumper combustion, I feel. And bouncing around the room, 46 days, probably the 46th time this year. If you had the Trey shows in, we're over 50. Although, it's a rocker, but right there, didn't really get a chance to spread its wings at all. And then Antelope coming off a strong summer. Got a little crazy with the encore there. All right. It's a good encore. They're trying to, maybe it was like, Trey, this show's all right. I don't know how to put everything on Trey. Overall, it was just like, how's the show going? I don't know. Let's go out there. Let's kill him with the encore. Maybe they made it worse. I mean, if you were like, oh man, these songs are overplayed, and then they hit you with a 46 days, you were probably looking for a tomato. All right. It's kind of an abrupt ending, wasn't it? Hit you with some kind of tomato joke, and then, well, we got a little Aaron Gordon early on. I got back on the train. Yeah, Mike. We're going to get a Mike's groove soon, aren't we? All right, peeps. Well, we're back on. That's a lot of red for a show that was just okay. I'm telling you, it had some highlights. That was awesome. This was pretty good. It got real good. I love this. Yeah. Boom. Thanks. Of course.